Hello again. It is July 28th. It's almost noontime, and it is after work. I got my visits done, and I'm just gonna go and do some charting now. Got to do another admission today, and another quick visit. Yesterday, was it yesterday? Yesterday I was expecting to get feedback from my instructor on my teaching plan, because I submitted it a week ago. And I have not gotten any feedback yet, and I had to like submit all of my plans and stuff to my employer because I'm going to be representing the company when I go and do this thing. And I got some feedback from my employer, and something that they pointed out, which I really should have picked up on while I was working on this project, was that I didn't actually include any like explanation of what exactly I'm going to talk about. I guess I kind of took that for granted, that I would just sort of speak extemporaneously and get input from the group and kind of move the discussion forward in a direction that was sort of set by the group. And I didn't really consider the fact that the people who would be interested in this project would want to know exactly what I would be talking about, except for a vague discussion outline. So that is going to be what I'm going to be working on after I do my charting, and I've got plenty of time to do that because it's still pretty early in the day, so I'm not too worried about that. But I wonder if my instructor is going to say the same thing. It's already too late to revise the assignment that I uploaded, so we'll see what happens. I'm going to actually do the teaching project next week at a nursing home. I think I'm going to do it on Wednesday. And I have to catch up with somebody from the facility on Monday and let them know, what my plans are, and just to check that it's still moving forward. But I'm thinking of integrating, now that I'm actually thinking about exactly what I'm going to do and what order I'm going to do things in. Just imagining, imaginary discussion groups. I think I'm going to incorporate a lot of the techniques that were used in my actual course, my transition into practice course. As well as some other techniques from other nursing classes that I've taken, in addition to the case studies, which I think are a great idea. Give people a chance to respond to case studies. Would be to ask the group to come up with a time, to think of a time when they've been in a situation involving an ethical dilemma at the end of life that had turned out well, and then to think of a time when it had not turned out well. And that was something that they had us do in our transition to practice class. And I think that would be a neat exercise to ask the group to do, so I'll incorporate that in there somehow. And I want to start off by defining a couple of terms and just talking about what a couple of different terms mean to the participants, and then have some written material to back up what other people think about it as well. But the first thing will be to define suffering, what suffering means, what kind of things qualify as suffering. And then the next thing would be ethics. What do ethics mean? What does it mean to act ethically? And I did print out the American Nurses Association interpretive statements, guidelines, or whatever on nursing ethics. So I can include those in the packet. But I guess I should have anticipated that my employer and my instructor would want to know exactly what I have planned, and not be satisfied with, well, I'm going to go here and talk about these things, or around these general principles, and it'll be fun. That wasn't enough, so I got more to do. And something non-nursing related going on right now is I'm getting a new mattress delivered today. I'm very excited about that. My trusty 12-inch Tempur foam mattress that I've had for years. My cat peed on it. And you might be asking yourself, well, Patrick, why didn't you get a mattress pad? And the guy who sold me the mattress told me that I should buy a mattress pad, and I'm like, nah, I don't need a mattress pad. It's gonna ruin the feel of this expensive foam that I'm paying for, and I'll just keep it clean, not a problem. And the cat got locked in my room for a few hours, and it peed all over the bed, and I spent weeks soaking it out with chemicals and airing it out and doing all these different things, and nothing worked. So I walked into a mattress store and looking for whatever the latest and greatest thing since Tempur foam came out was, and it was it was a memory foam impregnated with a gel. And it was a fabulous mattress, and the guy told me he could get me a full-sized mattress and it would cost me $2,000, and he took my card and he charged me $2,000. And then yesterday, the day before it was due to be delivered, the guy calls me and says, "Oh, I'm really sorry, but there's no such thing as a full-size mattress for that type of mattress." And I was a little taken aback by this because the guy quoted me a price for it, billed me for it, and told me it would be here today. So I was asking him some kind of difficult questions around that, and he told me he would upgrade me to the queen-size mattress for free, and I'm like, well, I don't know if my room is big enough for a queen-size mattress. I was like kind of talking like I was going to ask for a return or a refund. And then he upgraded me to the queen for the same price. So I'm getting a $3,200 mattress for like $2,000, which is kind of a nice deal. But something I feel necessary to point out, just in case you're thinking about these types of mattresses for somebody who's debilitated, these mattresses are not a replacement for medical quality pressure relief devices like alternating pressure mattresses and stuff. It doesn't matter like how fancy and how comfortable the gel mattress is or whatever, it will not protect you from bed sores the same way an alternating pressure air mattress will. So no matter what anybody tells you, tries to tell you, that is not what they're for. This mattress was very comfortable though, but I'm not sure how I'm going to fit it in my room, so when I'm done with my charting and brushing up my project, I'm going to be trying to rearrange my room to make room for this new mattress. After... traffic, road construction. Wow, this is amazing. Slow. Alright. So after defining some terms for this project, after we define some terms like what is suffering and what is ethics, I want to, briefly introduce two case studies, one on artificial nutrition hydration and one on anti-dementia medications. And I want to do this before I present any of the material. Like, I want to put these questions in the participants' minds first, and then the next step would be to talk about how to recognize that family members or a patient are ready for education. Like, how do you know it's a good time to present people with information about the decisions they have to make? And that's going to be the next thing that we're going to talk about. And then, let's see, after that, what do we do after that? After that would probably be a good time to introduce the printed material I came in, and not like read it as a group, but just point out some of the best practices as they're directly related to those two case studies. And then after that, just have a discussion about those topics, or give people an opportunity to share more of their own experiences with ethical decision making at the end of life, and sort of use that as a jumping off point for a discussion. I mean, that by then we're going to be in our last 10 minutes or so. So with only 30 minutes, I don't really see how we would have time to do a whole lot more than that. And then the other thing I wanted to add into it too was a couple of pages photocopy from the Your Right to Make Healthcare Decisions packet about like advanced directives and stuff. Because one of the social workers that I work with pointed out to me the whole thing about the living will taking precedence over a power of attorney, and that was something I had heard before, but I didn't have an actual reference to cite for it until the social worker pointed out that it was in the packet that I hand out to everybody when I admit them. So it was actually there the whole time. So I guess I wanted to spend some time fleshing some of that stuff out. I'm more than halfway through my first nursing class, and it really doesn't seem that hard so far. I mean, I didn't put a whole lot of time into any of the discussion assignments or the writing assignments. I'm getting like 90s, 95s on all of them. So hopefully advanced health assessments will be a more difficult class, and that will involve recording some video as well. I think I have to record myself performing health assessments on somebody. Oh yeah, I was talking about that last time. So that should be interesting. Next week I'll do the teaching assignment, and I'm going to try really hard to have video taken there. If I can't have video taken, I'll do audio. But I really don't know how else to evaluate the outcome, except to make a record that way. I'm not going to take notes. I'm going to ask everyone else not to take notes too. Maybe it's just me, but I think taking notes is like really rude and like dismissive, kind of. except in certain circumstances. I mean, I guess I can understand why people do it in class, but if I was teaching a class and people were taking notes, I'd feel like they weren't paying attention to me. And so I like how teachers now are very often giving you all the notes ahead of time, like on a computer file. So you don't have to take notes. You've already got the notes. Just pay attention to the lesson or participate. You know, that's kind of what I like a lot better. Go this way. And in interviews, people take notes in interviews sometimes. I don't know if you've ever had this experience of interviewing for a job and the people interviewing you were taking notes while you were interviewing. It's very intimidating. The time I experienced this was for it was like right after I graduated from nursing school at Connecticut Valley Hospital, the mental hospital, western part of the state, central. Very interesting facility. I really wanted to work there. And when I applied, I was told I passed the interview, but they were in a hiring freeze and they couldn't hire me. But that interview was the most intimidating thing I had ever been through. And it involved like 3 or 4 people. And, you know, one of them would be asking questions while the rest of them were taking notes about what I said. And they would just like rotate, or they were all writing stuff down. But it was stuff I was not really, I'd never really heard before in an interview. Like, a lot of them started in the format, tell us about a time when this happened, and then what did you do about it, and then what happened as a result. And, you know, never having practiced as a nurse before at this point, a lot, you know, they were mostly situations I had never encountered before. Like, tell us about a time when you saw a staff member having an inappropriate relationship with one of the patients, and what did you do about this, and what happened as a result. And apparently that's a big issue in the mental health care field. But I had to give them a hypothetical answer, like, well, I've never experienced that, but this is what I would do, and you know, threw some off-the-cuff answer about assessing the situation and counseling them and notifying my supervisor, you know, whatever, chain of command and stuff. And they seem to be satisfied with that as an answer. But it went on like this for a while. It was like an hour-long interview. It was no joke. I feel like I would definitely be able to do a better job of an interview like that now that I have actually worked for a couple of years. Yeah, maybe they'll interview me again someday. You know, one can always hope. But, so that's it for today, and tomorrow I'm on again, so I will see you tomorrow.